All right. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the slight delay this morning. Had some computer issues. Everything decided to crash just moments before I was about to push the button to go live. So, isn't that how it always is? Anyway, good morning. I am Jonathan van Clute. It is Wednesday, January 30th at, well, 6:48 a.m. Slightly late. Excuse me, 5:48. Oh, God, my eyes are still bleary. I can't even read the clock. 5:48 a.m. Slightly late this morning, as I said. With Stock Navigators, just reminding you to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy these videos and if they are helpful to you. And if you would like to get more of them, get notified, all that good stuff. All right. Enough of that. Let's jump in and start looking at the S&P 500. We have got sideways still. It's the same thing I was talking about on Monday, on Friday. It's just going sideways. We actually kind of have that was sort of a sloppy wedge. There we go. We kind of have a wedge going on here. Price is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller and getting squeezed in this little area. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens once it hits the end of this wedge, and does it pop one way or the other? Because probably will. As I've been saying for a while now, I really want to see that pullback. You've got the high, the higher low, the higher high, and we just don't have a good higher low yet. We've just been kind of going sideways, nowhere, holding right at the top of this zone right here. And, perhaps that means this zone is going to be strong support and price is going to just march higher from here and all that good stuff. But for a healthy uptrend, we really need to see a retracement. We need to see that pattern of higher highs and higher lows. And so far, we just haven't gotten it. So I really want to see it. I really want that retracement bad. Navigator's still trending up, but, it's only at 9 and a quarter. It's not really all that exciting. So right now, the market just going nowhere. We do have the FOMC meeting today. That is where interest rate changes, if there are going to be any, will be announced, and it's entirely possible that that's kind of what the market's been waiting for. Is just holding its breath, waiting to see what interest rates are going to do. I don't know that that's what they've been waiting for, but it seems like the market's waiting for something. So today is going to be an interesting day. Keep an eye out on what happens when those minutes are released, and see what happens when the announcement is made. The market has a tendency to be extremely volatile when those announcements happen. We'll see huge moves one direction and then a huge move in the other direction, and then eventually it stabilizes where it wants to go. So that could be the catalyst we've been looking for. If they raise rates, certainly I would expect to see the market react negatively to that. But even if they don't, the political climate right now is just so just tumultuous. There's just so much tension going on in global politics right now that I feel like if they say anything that isn't completely rosy and happy and wonderful, great news, the market could take that as bad news and correct. So kind of any excuse to start that process of forming maybe that higher low that I've been talking about wanting to see. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. This is a good day, especially if you're a newer trader, like if you're one of our new graduates from the program who just finished yesterday. Today's a good day to sit out. If you're all excited about doing your first day of trading, today might be a good day to just wait and see what happens. Now, obviously, if you're trading on simulator, you can do whatever you want. There's no genuine risk to you, so it's okay. But just be aware, pay attention, watch what happens. Look it up online if you need to, see what time that announcement is going to come out. And then just be prepared to watch the market at that time. Even if you're doing something else today, try to be available to watch what happens at that time. It could be a really useful educational experience. On the intraday, we do have an uptrend line going on here. Whoops, that was a very sloppy uptrend line. Try that again. That's a little bit better. My freehand drawing is not the best, but you get the idea. It is kind of riding an uptrend, and we have higher highs and higher lows. And as of yet, have not established a new higher high or a new lower low. So right now, the uptrend is intact. This uptrend here is still intact, and until something breaks it, the market is in an upward bias. That's just all there is to it. So short-term navigator also above the zero line, but also only down around 9. Not really spectacular. So it's just a sideways market right now. That's just what it is. So we really need to either need to break that high or break that low and get some movement. We need to get out of this balanced state we're in. Remember, 70% of the time the market is in a balanced state, and we really need to see that change. We want to see an imbalanced state emerge. One of these big moves down, big move up, something, anything. Just give me some movement. So that's the situation on the S&P 500. We're just kind of waiting to see, and I think the interest rates from the FOMC could be a big catalyst for something to happen one direction or the other. Let's now take a look at crude oil, and there's really nothing new going on there either. We are still stuck in the channel. That's bouncing around in this tight little channel here, which is the congestion range from before. We're just stuck there. We do have the buy zone down below, which is also from earlier. Looking left, you'd see that off to the left. But right now, the 21 EMA is pointing upwards. So, there is a slight upwards bias to this market right now. A Navigator is up, but, much like the ES, it's just kind of at 8.5. Oil has also just sort of been holding its breath, just moving sideways. Not quite sure what exactly it's waiting for, but it is waiting. Now we do have we have the high. Oops, actually, let me zoom out a little bit on the intraday on the 60-minute. There we go. Now you can see a little better. We have this high back here, which is also in this sell zone here, again from the past. And we really need to climb over that. We need to get through this zone. Right now, the market is trying to move up, but again, it's just kind of getting stuck right around there. Not really able to get much higher than that. So right now, anyway, this market is just kind of stuck. It keeps oscillating back and forth between these various zones here and getting stuck in the middle, and then it'll try to get up here but can't do it, and then come back, and etc. So it's just very sideways. That's really all there is to it. It's very similar to the ES. It is just stuck in a range. So we really need to see that change. We need to see a takeout of this high or a takeout of this low here to get a change of direction. I would love to see a correction. So we haven't seen a really meaningful correction here after hitting the bottom. Yeah, it came up and back down, but that was just the very next candle. That's just sort of, I say random, not random, but regular volatility there. And then after that, it's just gone up and then sideways. And we really need a correction, form a higher low, and then we can go up to make a higher high. So that's what I'm hoping to see. Unless something happens in this market that excites it and, price just shoots straight up from here and we get no retracement. That's possible too. This could be essentially the pause before price continues higher. Sometimes that happens. But personally, I would love to see a pullback, form a higher low, and then establish higher highs from there. So intraday, you're in kind of a mess. You just really need to see it get the heck out of these zones if you really want to have a clear trading opportunity. Otherwise, it's just chopping around a lot. Not a real directional market right now. Doesn't really seem to know what the heck it wants to do. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that trend line because it has certainly been broken, and actually so has that one, so it's going to go as well. All right, now let's take a peek at gold, which has managed to pop. So gold got up above this line that I had drawn quite some time back. Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at that. It's the bottom end of this zone, which was just basically a big congestion area here, where in the past you can see gold got stuck in this area, and we managed to get up into it. So right now, gold is right in that zone, and that is certainly a bullish sign. Gold has established a new higher high, and we have the higher low down here. As long as it does not breach that higher low, then uptrend is intact. So we're looking for this to establish a higher high somewhere. Maybe this is it, maybe it's not, but we're looking for a higher high and then pull back to form some kind of a higher low, and then break whatever the higher high was and continue higher. So we're just looking for Dow theory to play out. That's what we're looking at. So this zone is the biggie right now. We got to got through that zone, over that zone. Might not do it in one shot. Like I said, it could be that this is the higher high, that we form a higher low, and then we go and break it to form a new higher high and get above the highs of these congestion areas. But ultimately, of course, our big highs are up here. We got to climb all the way up to like that 1400 range, which is a climb. That's a good long ways from where we are right now. But gold up in the 1300s is a healthy, nice, bullish thing to see. After gold had got just so absolutely beaten to death for so long, and it's trying to climb up out of this big, just range, basically very, very large range that it's been stuck in. So we'll see if it can do it. Right now, definitely uptrend. No question about it. The market is in an uptrend on the intraday. Of course, also uptrend. You can see it. It took out these previous highs here, has established higher highs and higher lows. Navigator was very strong. It got all the way up here to like, the 60s. And then we started getting the magenta warnings saying, hey, we're exhausted. We can't really keep going. Had to pull back a little bit, which we did, formed a higher low, and now we're able to go higher. Navigator did get up to 40, which is where we start considering overbought. But it's not super excessive, and it's pulled back a little bit from there. But right now, this is a healthy looking uptrend. No question about it. We are in a very nice series of higher highs and higher lows. So be prepared to ride that. If you're looking to jump into this market, wait for a pullback, look for a dip, and then see about going in and have a low risk and a good reward, and keep your stops and all that good stuff. Okay, natural gas. Let's take a peek. Interestingly, natural gas clearly. In fact, I even mentioned this. I think on Monday. It was either Monday. I think it was Monday. That natural gas seems like it's already priced in the record colds we're having in the Midwest right now, because there's been nothing. I mean, just nothing. No big upwards thrust. Nothing. So it seems pretty clear to me that that weather event was priced in already. And natural gas right now is still just stuck in this range. It got out of it briefly, hopped up out of the range, and came right back down into it. And now we're just stuck in this range, which really is just that blue area that I drew. We're stuck in this box here, basically, and really need to get out of it. In fact, I would even actually say, not sure if the changed on me or I just kind of drew it wrong or what, but it's more like that. That's really the whole range. And you can see here just sideways, 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 and then finally a big trend move. So right now we're back in the box, and just need to either break out of our lows and establish a downtrend further, or we need to hold here and go higher. But right now there's no real direction. We're just going sideways. So intraday, of course, if you're day trading this, you're looking to scalp or whatever, you can just look at a number of things. The downtrend is clearly the predominant trend right now on the 60-minute. The 21 EMA is pointing downwards, and Navigator's mostly red. We've had little pops of green, but for the most part, it is red, 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 red. So the bears are much more in charge. So you'll look for maybe a break of the low here. If you want to go to the downside, you want to play that direction, or possibly, of course, if we get a pullback, if we can, we've got the high, we've got a lower low, we've got a lower high, and then we have a lower low. If we can set another lower high anywhere in here, maybe come up and test the bottom of this zone or something, and then hold, and then come back down. Establishing a new lower high would be a great entry for a short position. So something like that is what I would want to see. But right now, this instant, it's just sideways. So I wouldn't really be looking to bet on either direction from here. We just don't have a clear-cut sign of what to do. All right, last but not least, let's take a look at Bitcoin and give an idea of what the crypto market's doing. So Bitcoin has started to move a little bit of a sell-off, and there's chatter in some of the forums and groups and things, and people are getting all nervous and Bitcoin's heading down again, next leg down, and everything like that. But as of the moment, anyway, it's not that much to get excited about. It came down a little bit, but in Bitcoin terms, I mean, this is nothing. These are little tiny candles. This is very, very low volatility for Bitcoin. So I'm not overly excited. Yes, sure, the 21 EMA is technically pointing downwards, but not aggressively so. It's a pretty shallow angle. Also, Navigator, not very strong to the downside. We're only down here at almost negative 15. It's not wildly negative. We are also right in this buy zone right here, just at the top of the buy zone. So I see this as a reasonable place for more accumulation to be happening, and then possibly establishing a true bottom. If we can double bottom in here and really establish that this area is going to hold, then that is extremely bullish and could be setting up for the next push upwards. So I'm not getting overly excited about this. This isn't where I see this and say, oh my gosh, short Bitcoin, it's going to zero. I don't see anything like that. I see low volatility. I don't see a huge amount of participation in this. It's just the market's not getting that excited about it. So to me, it's kind of a non-event. On a 60-day basis, of course, we are still heading down. You can see that the 21 EMA is consistently making, lower lows and lower highs and lower lows, etc. But it's not big ranges anymore. We're not getting these big drops anymore, these big pops up, or even, these moderate ones here. We're kind of getting very little. Every once in a while, we get a little bit of a move, and then just sort of sideways and sideways here and sideways here, etc. So it's just not that big a deal for Bitcoin. I mean, all this time from the 10th, we're talking to 10th to the 30th, we're talking 20 days for Bitcoin to go, basically from about, what is that, 37, call it 37.50 to 33.50, right? A $400 move for Bitcoin in 20 days. That's nothing. That is tiny. I mean, Bitcoin can do those moves in a day, no problem. So I don't see it as a big deal. I just really don't. Right now, I see this as accumulation, holding down here in this buy zone. What we really need to watch for is a takeout of those lows. Now, if that happens, different story. Then we've established that there is further downside to come, and the sellers might get more aggressive at that point. But right now, I just don't see aggressive selling at all. So yeah, nothing to get really overly excited about. This is potentially getting near the point where there might even be a buy if you're looking to trade this to the long side. If it can hopefully, ideally, get a little bit maybe further down in the zone, that might be a nice thing to see, because then you can just put your stop right outside the zone somewhere and have a real low risk entry. Right now, it's looking like it wants to kind of come back up. Maybe this is it. I mean, if this is as low as it's going to go, maybe this was the bottom. This is the next higher low. And then perhaps we take out this, or really technically that, and establish a new higher high, and then a real uptrend's in place. So we're at an inflection point, I would say, in Bitcoin. I think this is a very critical area, and we very well could be forming a true bottom right now. Just need to keep a close eye on those ranges and see what it wants to give us for any kind of trading opportunities. All right, that is it. I'm going to wind up here. Nothing exciting happened in the S&P during the last 15 minutes while I've been talking. So that is what we're looking at for the day ahead. But like I said, this is an FOMC a day. So those interest rate announcements going to happen, and we got to be real cautious and just play it carefully. Wait and see what's going to happen with that before you just go charging into the markets. Today is a delicate day. So keep that in mind. Taking a quick look at the chat, which I have not been looking at while I've been doing my analysis. I see William in the room again, as always, Mr. Early Riser. Good to see you, William. It was good to see you over the weekend as well. It was nice for you to stop in and say hi and check out the class. So that was good. All right. Again, I'm Jonathan Van Clute with Stock Navigators, reminding you to subscribe, like the video, give us comments if you've got anything to tell us, give us your feedback, etc. We would love it. That would be great. And again, just a hello to all of the folks who just went through our 3-day program and just finished up yesterday. It was fantastic working with all of you. It was great to see you, great to meet you. I really look forward to seeing you again. And I really encourage you to take advantage of our retake offers on the class, because you really do need that multiple exposure to it. You're not going to get it just once through. It's just too much information. So retakes are fantastic. I strongly recommend you take advantage of them, and I would love to see you. It'd be a lot of fun to have you back. It's always better the second time around. You will see. So, all right, everybody. I hope you have a great trading day ahead. I'm going to go get ready for mine. And as always, use good position sizes, keep your stops sensible, and trade well, and the money will follow. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.